Hi, this is Jack from Alpha Charts with a stocks to watch video. Today is December 6, 2020. Before we get started, this video is for educational purposes only. These are not recommendations to buy, sell, or hold any stock or security. I may hold positions in some of the equities mentioned. Know your time frame and risk tolerance. Also, you can like and subscribe to my YouTube channel. At Alpha Charts 365 on Twitter, and so on. All right, good. Let's start with the Qs. Okay, so what kind of market are we in? We always have to start with that to know if we are in a good bullish market. The Qs breaking out to all-time highs. Yeah, nothing more bullish than all-time highs. So the market looks good as of today, Sunday. All right, so we have 30 names to go over today, and we're going to try to do it in about 15 minutes. So grab a piece of paper, grab a pen, and let's go over them. First one is going to be GoGo. You had a big uptrend, nice sideways consolidation. Just waiting for this thing to get above 1150, and I think GoGo could go. Thank you. Next one, Schrodinger. Recent IPO, big run up. This was a hot stock back here. It's pulled back. No one's talking about it. Well, guess what? It now consolidated and is trying to break out again. As long as it stays above, 6250-ish. I think that it's absolutely looking great. Schrodinger. Encino, that is a newer name for me off my favorite scan. If you don't know that scan, I've posted on Twitter every single day, and it's a pretty good scan for some growth names. Anyway, this Encino is trying to get above this area, and obviously 85.25 or so is the potential resistance. So anything above that, and I think it's a long. NVAX. Big uptrend, sideways consolidation, staying in the upper 25% or so of the consolidation. These moving averages have crossed bullishly. I think that that this one looks pretty good to move higher. Again, but watching for the breakout, of course. Snapchat, big uptrend, sideways consolidation, uptrend, sideways consolidation, and it looks like the uptrend is starting again. Pretty good size volume coming in back over here, and even you see the up volume is definitely more than the down volume. So I like Snap, apps, Digital Turbine, uptrend, sideways consolidation, starting to break out. This one looks pretty good. Wish the volume was a little bit more, but maybe on Monday, if we get a true move to the upside, maybe that'll show a lot of volume coming in. Nvta. Nvta, again, had this, base here that it made. Then, there's your box. Then stepped up, box, and it looks like it may want to step up into the next box. So that looks pretty good. EXPI. This one, big uptrend, sideways consolidation, and this one looks like is primed to move higher. EXPI. Next up is PINs. And this one broke out, nice sideways consolidation, moved higher, and now another sideways consolidation. Maybe it's here. Maybe you can make it, that little, some kind of Darvis box like that. But this one looks like it's staying up in this range, and it's just letting the moving averages catch up. We'll see. But if you can make out all-time highs, I think pins can move higher too. Next up, Lcs Holdings. So energy drink moved higher. Nice tight consolidation here. Big up on earnings. Sideways consolidation, and now it's trying to move out of its box. This one could be a fast mover. AMD, I've been watching this one for a while. Broke out here. It was stayed in this box for a while, and now it's breaking out again. So this one is already starting to move a little bit. Peloton, again, I'm only looking at things in uptrends, and here's one that was in a beautiful uptrend, pulled back smartly on pretty late volume actually. When it got to this potential support area, you saw volume come back in, and now it's starting to go higher again. I think if it could break out of this little triangle, pen it and make a kind of a bull flag, this could move much higher. Next up is Z, Zoom Info. So recent IPO, and it's been a little volatile. It had a secondary and the lockup expired like all at the same time right here. Big move to the downside, held a VWAPs from the IPO and from this important area right there, and now it's starting to move higher. So as long as it can stay above, 44.75 or so, I think that Zoom Info it made a nice entry again. It gave you guys a second chance if you weren't in it the first time. Psnl is here's the IPO high, and now we're coming up trying to challenge that again. The volume that's come in since August has been pretty sick, so this is looking good. So we'd love to see a big volume breakout on this one. Sale point, uptrend, sideways consolidation, staying in that top area of the consolidation. So to me, this looks like it wants to break out and move higher. Pluralsight, from the IPO, this has been support, resistance, and now it's trying again. I think this trend line right here is that early entry piece. If not, you'd have to wait till you get above 2050 or so, but I think that there's an early entry possibility right there. Next up is Tenable, and highs, retested it, failed, retested it, try to break out, failed, and now we're going to come back up and try to test it again. So we'll see what happens, but definitely one to watch. EXAS. This was a very important area and completely got rejected from it. Created this new base, and now we're up to it looks like all-time highs. So that's pretty bullish. So it did break out, and I think that this is just the start of this move from this gigantic base. Palantir is next, a new IPO, very hot stock. I was thinking about buying it back at $9.50 and $10. Never pulled the trigger on it. Obviously, that was a mistake, but it may be giving me another opportunity because of this candle right here. I like how it gapped down when it was down 12%, but you see right where buyers stepped in. So now we have a new place of potential support. We'll love to see this test this $22 area or so one more time. Let these moving averages finish catching up, and then for it to move higher. It may not give us that opportunity, but that's why I'd look forward to get involved because I can manage my risk at that place. Next up is Shift for payments. Recent IPO, moving higher in the upper area of this box. It's trying to break out. If it gets above 63 or so, I think this could be a buy. Stone, in a beautiful uptrend, nice tight consolidation. In some ways similar to this. Now, if you notice on this one, though, it did kind of came down, tested the 65-day, and then it zoomed higher. So we'll see what happens with this. But if it could get above, $74 or $75, I think this one can move much higher. That's Stoneco. CleanSpark Energy. There's literally no volume in it back here. But as you can see, something changed and volume really started to come in. And it went from a $2 stock to a $13 stock. I'm not interested in a $2 stock, but I am interested in a $13 stock that has a nice big run-up, tight consolidation, and looks like it wants higher. So, if it gets above 13 and a quarter or so, I think CleanSpark could be something that looks really good. AXTI. This was a big area going back to 2011. and it touched it here, and now we're back in the area. But if you look at it, it's gone from a $5.70 or so to $10.36. So it's had a double, right? And now it's got a very smart, tight pullback, right? It's not giving much back at all. So this has high tight flag potential right all over it. So I think AXTI is a possibility for another double potentially coming up. We'll see. Guidewire, this was an important area. It has been resistance, going back to 2019, and it did just break out. Now this one looks a little extended for me, so this is one I would definitely have to wait for it to come back and retest 124. So let these moving averages catch up, and then I would consider getting involved in this one. But definitely is worth watch list recognition on this. XLNX, Xilinx, big breakout, moved higher. It's another one. It's been a pretty steady stair step higher. It's a little bit extended from its moving averages, so it's another one I'd want to wait for a pullback and maybe a check to the, this 138 level. But breakout is a breakout. It looks pretty good. Bree, moved from 64 to 93. That's a 50% move. And now it's consolidating nice and in a tight range up here. So I think Cree can, as long as it stays in this range and then eventually breaks higher above 94 or so, I think this one can move much higher. I do like this one. I love these tight consolidations. They tell you a lot of information about the psychology of people buying and selling the stock. Next up is Laser. Laser went from 22 to 32, so that's a nice 50% increase. Amazing amounts of volume coming in. I mean, just ridiculous amounts. So this one can, potentially is going to move much, much higher. We'll see. But that's just gobs and gobs of volume coming in. So looks really good. Apple is on the list. I don't usually put mega caps on this list, but again, big uptrend, tight consolidation within a range at least in the upper quadrant. It looks pretty good for a move higher. As I always say, everyone owns Apple if you have a 401k or a Roth IRA or any retirement account, or even just S&Ps, you're owning Apple. So now, Qs, whatever, you're owning Apple. So next one is going to be MP. It was a new IPO and it moved higher from 11 to 22, and now it's within this range. Let's see what the pullback was here. About 25%. So it still has potential high tight flag prospects to it. MP Materials, this one looks pretty good. Some decent volume coming in. Look how, it's been pretty low on the pullbacks. And the big up days, you've had some nice big up volume coming in. So we like that, MP Materials. And the last one for you today is going to be Bill.com. So Bill.com, broke out of this range, kind of created another range back and forth within it, and now is moving out to all-time highs. Again, pullback had very shallow, which we love, and breakout, and you're seeing some volume come back in. So we like Bill.com, very manageable risk right here, and that's that. So there you go. 30 names in 14 minutes or so. I hope you guys enjoyed this. Again, I am on Twitter at AlphaCharts365. I also post my favorite scan every single day, which I got many of these names from, not all of them, but many of them from. So it's a great watch list maker, idea generator if you're interested. I hope you all have a good day. Take care.